What's good, family? Shout out to your man the YB, number one sugar mama in the game right now, Lizzie Corinne, for boosting up his coin, no doubt about it. So, we got some truly shocking news right now from your man's Errol Spence. He stayed punking the fans. Now, I did a video yesterday, or the other day, on Terence Crawford. He was waffling. Oh man, well maybe, and I'm hoping for the fight. He waffling. He hot, he cold, he not sure. He doing horoscopes, trying to find out if the Errol Spence fight gonna happen. What's his dusty ass Nick doing horoscopes for? Yeah, you man can make the fight happen. Stop playing games. You overpaid bum having ass dude. Bud Crawford. Yeah? Bob Arum did you too nicely. Anyway, like I was saying, a few days ago I posted up and showed you man Terence Crawford waffling. And in that video I exposed the fact that Errol Spence and Crawford really, but obviously this video is about Errol Spence, but both of them two have been acting weird. They've been acting like best friends forever. Peep, in the last 2 months of negotiations, yeah, none of them have said anything. Do you not find that odd? Because if it was me, yeah, if I was the one in negotiations and things was taking long, I'll be the first one, and I wasn't a problem. I'll be the first one saying, boom, this guy Terence Crawford, he playing games. My half of the fight's signed. I'm waiting for his goofy ass to stop playing and stop trying to drag 50-50 when he ain't never made 50-50 in his life. That's what I'd be doing if I was Errol Spence. Or, if it's the other way, that's what I'd be doing if I was Terence Crawford. Let's say, for example, yeah, Terence Crawford is happy to fight for 40% in the first fight, and Errol Spence, for whatever reason, is playing games. Bud could come out and tell us that. He ain't say nothing. So like I said, these two men, arch rivals, ain't said nothing to no one about anything. All we know is the fight ain't happening. That there is some best friend forever behaviour. Why is neither one of these two dudes exposing the other party for flopping? This tweet here gives us an insight into it. Because guess what? Rather than exposing the people who are the problem, i.e. Terence Crawford or Errol Spence, these two cats are worried about what the fans are doing. Yeah? So rather than Errol Spence posting a tweet, yo, it's 8 AM and Terence Crawford stay playing games, Errol Spence took it upon himself to essentially blame the fans for being thirsty for this fight. Y'all up at 8 AM arguing with each other. I love the passion for this fight, but go eat breakfast with your kids if you have some and brush your teeth. Oh? What this tells you is, Errol Spence, he ain't mentioned nothing about why it's taking so long. He ain't blaming Crawford. He ain't blaming himself. Who he blaming? Who is he blaming for the fans being desperate for this fight? He blaming the fans. Oh, fans, you need to go and get a life. Go get a life and brush your stinky teeth. Like all us fans are down bad. That's what it's implying. The implication is that all fans are dusty and we're thirsty. These guys, yeah, they think they're doing us a favour. Go brush your teeth and go spend time with your kids. Stop hassling us. I told you before. Errol Spence, when he was selling his bum-ass tickets to see Mikey Garcia, Mr. 130 pounder, at the big Texas stadium, I didn't hear Errol Spence saying anything about people need to brush their teeth and people need to go eat their breakfast. No, he wanted his tickets bought. But now, the fight ain't happening between Errol Spence and Crawford. All of a sudden, he don't want no attention on him. All of us, think about it. Think about it from their point of view, yeah? If your name's Errol Spence and you know this fight is going to happen soon, why would you be telling people to stop arguing? You'd be saying, boom, I want my fans to know that we're on this thing. My fans need to know that we're about to smoke that Crawford pack. Do you know what I'm saying? Why isn't Errol Spence gassing his own fans up right now? Innit? Think about it. If you're on the inside like Errol Spence is, he should be saying right now, yeah, I want all my Spence fans to know we're going to be smoking that Crawford pack real soon. innit? He should be getting the fans even more excited, knowing it's coming soon, knowing the negotiations are going well. Instead, he's telling fans to basically move on. Stop talking about the fight. Get a life. Spend time with your kids. Implying that people who send tweets out can't spend time with... No, listen. People, boxing fans, they spend plenty of time with their kids. Their kids aren't the problem here. The problem is you overpaid scary ass dudes fighting bums 90% of the time, and the big fight, all of a sudden everyone's like this. No one knows anything. You never thought that weird? You never found that weird? I find it super suspect, yeah. When bum fights are being arranged, everyone knows everything about it. They've got things to say, it's all back and forth. But when it's a real fight, all of a sudden, Errol Spence and Crawford, yeah, doing all this 100%. The last two interviews of Crawford and Spence, both of them, only spent about 30 seconds on this topic. And they were like, Terence Crawford, yeah? Honestly, a bunch of sounding ass, Shaggy, not Shaggy, what's the other one? Scooby, yeah, 100%. Scooby sounding ass dudes. That's what they was. Terence Crawford, where? 100%. Errol Spence was in the interview, and the interviewer said to him, Errol, when is the Terence Crawford fight happening? And Errol Spence said, Terence who? 100%. Terence what? Terence Crawford? He didn't know. Yeah? And Terence Crawford was in an interview. And the interviewer said to him, listen, when's the fight happening? And Terence Crawford said, when's the fight happening with who? Yeah? Errol who? Yeah? Mr. Spence? Yeah, 100%. Yeah? He didn't have a clue who the guy was, all of a sudden. But when all these guys have their washed up fights, they know exactly who it is. Yeah, I got him fighting him, 27th of August. They know the date, they know the name, they got the smoke. All the answers. All in the video, doing these big 15-minute, 20-minute interviews. This one though, neither of them know anything. They're all saying broad things like, oh man, you know, if it doesn't happen now, it's never gonna happen. Yeah, we didn't ask you that. We asked you, what's the problem? Because it's been taking a long time. Oh man, well you know, I'll be doing my horoscopes, and Terence Crawford, he a Sagittarius, and you know I'm a Cancer, and our stars are aligned right now, and like I said, Scooby sounding ass dudes. Yeah, I can't listen. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's Scooby sounding ass dudes. Yeah, can't deal with them, especially ones who stay trying to punk the fans like it's our fault. Of all the people it may be, of all the people's fault it may be, let me tell you who it ain't. It's not the fans. And that's what bugged me about this tweet. Why are we not seeing at Terence Crawford in this post here? If Errol Spence has got a problem with the fans cooking on this fight, he should have a problem with why they're cooking on this fight. He should be saying, listen, all my fans out there, I see you getting into it. I want you to know it's the scary ass budmosexuals that be taking the piss right now. Yeah? Tell your man Terence budmosexual to sort his shit out, because he's scary. He could have posted that if he had a problem with the fans bickering. Instead, he tried and mug it. Oh, you need to brush your yellow teeth. Go brush your yellow teeth. That's I'm sorry, but that's a huge part. These are the people, yeah, who pay for your pay-per-views. These are the people who keep your kids in private school. These are the people who pay for the nanny who brushes your kids' teeth. Do you understand? And you're out here implying that boxing fans aren't good fathers, or boxing fans don't brush their teeth. What's that about? Where are they doing that at? Just rude. But I told you before, and that's why I don't have no shame in streaming. Because guess what? These guys, they think you're the dirt on their shoe. They see people like Ellie running around, all in trying to put the camera all in their face, and it gets them gassed. Seeing grown men begging it, and I get it to some extent. That's why you won't ever see me doing that. You ain't never going to see the YB running around like some next groupie. Oh, can I get an interview? Can I get an interview? No, I ain't going out like that. Yeah? These guys are already too gassed. And that's why they feel on that platform where they can tell other men what they should be doing. Let me tell you, Mr. Spence, what you should be doing. Never mind eating your breakfast, never mind brushing your teeth. What you want to do is get this fight done. And if you can't get it done, expose why. Simple as that. And I'm sorry, even if this fight does end up happening, I find it suspect why either one of the parties can't just, in the meantime. That's, in my mind, that's what, if anything, yeah, will force someone to sign a contract. It will be public pressure. If, for example, Errol Spence came out and exposed the fact that Terence Crawford was playing games, or if it's the other way, if Terence Crawford came out and exposed the games Errol Spence was playing, nothing gets done than public pressure. It's easy to hide in the background when no one knows and play games. It's a lot harder when the public know. And that's why I've been telling you, this whole thing for me is suspect. The fact that neither one of them is complaining. Do you understand? Because when neither one of them complains publicly, it tells you neither one of them are really bothered about this fight. They're happy for the fight. They're happy for the fans to move on quietly and keep it moving. Because if they wasn't, if either one of these guys here was desperate for this fight, they'd have already been out here saying, listen, Terence, I've been negotiating with you for 2 months. I'm sick of you playing games. Now people say things like, oh, but you know, we don't want to ruin the relationship. Listen, whatever relationship you've got, it's been 2 months, number one. So your relationship ain't that good anyway, because if it was, the fight would have been done. But number two, guess what? It's the fight game. Since when are grown-ass fighters worried about someone else's feelings? Oh well, my name's Errol Spence and I don't want to put Terence Crawford out there because I don't want to ruin the relationship. What relationship? You're meant to be rolling up and smoking each other's packs. This shows you though how female and feminine these dudes are. Back in the day, people didn't care how another man felt. They talked their talk and that was the end of that. Errol Spence right now, or whoever the problem is, as their own man, should be talking their shit. And guess what? If Errol Spence, for example, came out here and exposed Terence Crawford and he don't like it and say I'm not doing the fight, so be it. And that would go down in history that Terence Crawford ran away from the fight because he got aired out. Do you understand? If Errol Spence came out and said, listen, boom, Terence, stop playing games. You're not worth 50%. And then if Crawford came back and said, oh, Errol Spence, you've put private information out there, the fight is not on anymore, that would be the perfect, boom, Terence Crawford shit himself. But both of these guys, I don't know what they're on. Apart from their vibe is, listen, keep it quiet and let's just, you know what I mean, one of them ones. Let's just let it flop real slow. That's what it must be. Super odd. Super duper odd. And even if the fight happens, in my opinion, it's odd. Now to be fair, there is an argument, maybe they're really close and that's why, I ain't trying to hear that. I ain't trying to hear about really close.